had a lookalike friend who so happened to go by the name of Jason Roses. Although we look like we could be twins, we're not related at all, but nonetheless we were friends. I guess we could still be extinguished apart from each other though. We dress very differently, and Jason always has a sidekick alien girlfriend who goes by the name of Roxy. Roxy always follows Jason, but she never follows me. The three of us were going out for a jog on a bright and warm day, just through a small trail inside a forest. We were sweating and panting too, so we were getting a good workout. Well, apart from Roxy, she doesn't really circulate blood, but she always enjoyed jogging with us boys in a really pretty forest. As we were about to exit the forest and re-enter a modern neighborhood, we ended the workout there like we always do, followed by drinking fresh, cold water from a drinking fountain. See, that fountain was the reason we set up this location as the end of our workout. But after consuming H2O, the three of us would always walk home afterwards, and we would talk while we were walking home. But in this very day, Jason wanted to do something new. He pulled me back into the edge of the forest, where people won't see us. That was when Jason confessed that he really liked me enough to want to kiss me. And he wanted Roxy to kiss me too. Now, any normal teenager would admit that it would be too awkward to just casually kiss two people, especially since one of them is the same gender as me. But I was an exception. Even though we knew each other for just about a year, I always adored his personality. I gave myself a few seconds of thought after Jason proposed to kiss me. I've kissed not one person before, and it would kind of be embarrassing to have a guy be my first kiss. But Jason was a really charming and feminine kind of guy. And so without further ado, I said yes, I would kiss him. I couldn't kiss him though. The sound of an alarm clock started going off, and eerily, my vision started blurring more and more until it was all pitch black. I transported into a completely different atmosphere. My eyes were closed the whole time, and when I began opening them, I saw the same wooden ceiling that I wake up to every morning, and the sound of the alarm clock kept going until I turned it off. Once that was done, I had realized how empty I felt. Every time I would see Jason and Roxy in my illusions, and later find that it all hasn't happened, this emptiness comes to me. I felt empty because I woke up to realize that Jason and Roxy are not with me, because having gained stomach fat was the result, and because I'm in a world where physical conflict is heavily accepted, and God knows if it's even a requirement for the law. This is Brumblefighter, a fucked up place inhabited by a lot of vicious fighters. I don't want to go to work and spectate any more people fighting. I want to read books. Gosh. But I need money to buy more books and pay for electricity. No time to grieve then. I have work today in about a few hours, and I have to prepare. I brush my teeth, starting with applying toothpaste onto my toothbrush, rinsing it with cold water, then inserting it in my mouth and against my teeth. Then I start to rub the brush upon the teeth from left to right, both top and bottom, then spit out the foam into the sink. Now I was off to go out for a jog, putting on my white snowboard shoes and my Mojo Dojo pants, then taking one bottled water from my pantry inside my room. After I did that, I went out for a temple to run out in the cool, snowy breeze. This is where I live, inside one of the rooms in Zen Temple. I like to live there because it's always covered in white snow, and at the same time is it cold. It's pretty peaceful here too, with nobody to disturb me, and except for a few family gatherings that occur, but I didn't mind the sound of them. Yeah, it's pretty lonely being here at times, but I've at least got an energetic Chinese friend who would see me daily to keep me company. In fact, just as I was about to begin my jogging, I ran into him today. Behold, my Chinese friend named Andy. He's rich, even after we all transferred into a revolutionary world. We started to walk towards each other and greeted too. I started. What up, Andy? What's up, man? You need money? Nay. I thank you for giving me money, which actually helped me find a place to live like this. But ever since I found out that you make money by beating people up, I stopped wanting your dirty fighting money, okay? Explain to me why you started to really hate fighting again. I made a vow to Jason that I would never do such a thing no more. But GJ, at that point, you will make so little money just manning the fruit stand, that you might not be able to afford any more rent. Come fight like everybody else. No freaking way. Fuck everybody else, apart from me, Jason, and Roxy. What about me? Well, fuck half of you. One half I don't fuck you because you helped me get a place to live. The other half, however, I fuck you because you're just the same as everybody else. You know, you actually one time made me want to fight less because of an argument you had with some other Chinese guy. I was referring to another day when Andy and I encountered another Asian person who had a purple streetwise medium hair. Now, during that time, Andy had taught me that there were two versions of Chinese, Mandarin and Cantonese. When Andy and the guy with purple hair met, they ended up arguing with each other, and I wasn't even sure who was using what version of Chinese. Yes, they threw fists at each other, which resulted in just another plain and sporty fight, but afterwards, they've been more or so yelling at each other in Chinese, more than they're actually being physical. Here's what I've been hearing. The purple-haired guy said, "Cheng cheng, cheng chong cheng chong." Then I heard Andy saying, "Cheng chong chong, cheng chong chong, cheng cheng cheng, dong dang cheng chong, do." Well, you know what? What? Cheng fuck you chong. Nani? Let's move back to the presents. So what Andy was saying to me was, guys like him were assholes. I didn't encounter them all that often. I hope a lot of them didn't survive during the revolution of Rumble Fighter. That way, there would be less jerks in this world. Yeah, but less jerks means less nice people too. Shit ain't changed, Andy. Now will you excuse me? I've got to get my refreshment jog so I can get ready for work. I started jogging as I ran past Andy. Andy said back to me even after I was already meters away from him. Well, alright, GJ. Now Andy walked away. Then while he did that, he whispered to himself, "You can't keep hiding forever, man." Before actually jogging, I always stretched the exact same way that Jason and Roxy used to stretch. They still probably do in another world, but to honor them, and additionally, since I was in the exact place where they used to do their traditional daily stretch, I decided that stretching just like those guys was the most righteous thing to do. I began by reaching my toes, and for each time I touched my toes counted as one rep. I began walking, and I said, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, 1, et 2, et 3, et 4. Walk to the left, push, push, push. Walk to the right, push, push, push. I then did a stretch that I couldn't really describe, but I continued counting. Ichi, ni, san, shi. Exercise da ya, exercise da ya. Go, roku, nana, hachi. Exercise da ya, exercise da ya. Oh, darn it. I forgot that only Roxy makes that noise. Shoot. I was gonna finish my stretch when all of a sudden, an explosion happened. What the fuck? So what exactly had happened was a guy just fell from the sky, out of the blue, and plummeted onto the ground. He had an active exocore, which turned his hands into 5-ton steel balls. I then looked up to find that another guy was falling down from the sky and landed on the ground without any harm. That guy had on an exocore called Dragon Striker, where he wore dragon hands. As it turned out, they were fighting each other. And to make matters worse, they were now fighting in front of the temple that I lived in. I was getting frustrated right now, because I was losing my jogging time of the morning, and because why? 2 people are fighting. I had to step in and stop them, because looking on the ground, a portion of it just got ruined after that first guy collapsed into it. I shouted, "Stop fighting! Hi! You guys are breaking the rules! Did you not read the signs that were all around the temple? One of the rules specifically said, no fighting allowed. I mean, yeah, you can fight in other temple areas, but not here!" Oh, they stopped when I told them to stop. But they were staring at each other, preparing to retaliate if one attacks another. They both had scratches and bruises on their faces and bodies. Plus, they were bleeding. The guy that had steel balls for fists responded to me.
Don't interrupt us, man. We're having a very heavy argument. I'm not about to lose to this jackass just because you're stopping us from fighting. Motherfucker! I'm snitching on y'all.
I was running back to my room, but one of the neighboring temple residents called me and said,
I already called the cops for you. The cops are on their way.
Being glad that happened, I turned around and continued to yell at them loudly. Ha! You guys are going to jail now! The two EXO users stopped fighting and looked straight at me. The fighter with dragon claws for hands said,
I can't believe he snitched on us.
I did not!
Don't lie.
Apparently, I was being referred to as the snitch. I then said,
Oh shit!
The both of them were running straight for me, and then I started running away from them. Just as I was running without the intention to look where I was going, sirens were heard, and I was suddenly hit and yelled,
Ah! I can't believe I got ran over by a police car!
I rolled upward of the car's front window. Then gravity changed the direction of my body until I fell off the side of the vehicle. And then I fell onto the ground just beside the driver's door. A police officer who drove the car I was run over by opened the door and commented on my fail.
Be careful!
My bad, officer. There were about as much as 6 policemen who were inside of a total of 3 cars that drove all the way here to the temple. 5 of the officers raised their guns at the 2 fighters while one of them shouted with a megaphone.
Remove your exo cores and put your hands up!
The fighters listened to the megaphone user and removed the glove-like hand portions of their exos, then raised their hands up.
Now get down on your knees, now!
They did that too, while their hands were up. The megaphone user performed silent communication with other officers, pointing at 2 out of 5 officers wielding weapons. Then the 2 pointed cops walked toward the fighters and taken away into cars, 1 per car, leaving a 3rd car without an arrested person. I had been standing just by the same doorway I felt close to, but now that those EXO users were put in the car, I asked the megaphone using policeman, they going behind bars, right?
No, we're just going to charge them for fighting in the wrong area.
Ah! How are they getting away with simple charges? They damn near shredded me into pieces had you not showed up.
Shred you into pieces?
Yeah!
This is a fighting world. What do you expect?
I had my ears covered with my hands when he used that megaphone, but then I said, yeah, I see how it is. All the cops were driving away from the temple area and I had just gone back inside to take a shower. On the way to the shower room, I commented, waste my fucking job time all because 2 guys were fighting and they don't even get put in jail. Now, after showering, I used a bike with a backpack on my back to ride from the temple to the plaza area. And that makes me sweat, which causes me to put on a slight bit of workout odor. Doesn't make sense, does it? It does to me when I want to wash away masturbation and bathroom break smells from last night. I get pretty paranoid if people were to be able to smell that more than workout odor. Even though it seemed that people can't actually smell me at all. You know, soul fighters tend to have strong noses, and the smell that they're obviously more accustomed to is cold sweat after a nice fight to keep your body fit, good looking, and your mind alive. Fit! That's probably why I shower more than other people, because I'm not so fit.